Hello everyone and welcome to the first episode that I'll be uploading for Palworld. If you don't know what this game is, it's basically somewhat themed around Pokemon. But it's not made by Nintendo, so they're all legally distinct. Such as this one, that is certainly not Flareon. Anyway, it's also got some other elements. You can build your own bases, there's automation, there's machinery, there's guns, and other weaponry. And of course, unlike Pokemon, there's not a trainer every 5 feet forcing you into a battle that just takes too long, that isn't even difficult in the first place. There's no wild grass, or there's no long grass to have random encounters in. A way I've described it to some friends, and they quite agree, is that's kind of the best parts of like Minecraft, Pokemon, and Zelda Breath of the Wild, with none of the bad parts. Now, it's not perfect, of course. The people who made the game decided to make crafting take time, which, I don't have time for that. But the rest of the game is good enough that I'm playing it anyways. A lot. I've only had it for 4 days now, and I've probably got close to 40 hours in the game. First 2 days were really just constant. I ended up a bit underprepared for Tuesday's D&D game, and put all the blame on the player who introduced me to the game. So I'm fairly well into the game because, I've been playing so much of it. I'm level 56. I've got some fairly good pals here. And it's nighttime and desert, so it's getting cold and I need to sleep. But I don't have any real particular goals for this episode. I've just been thinking, I really should have started recording when I first opened the game. The thing is, I didn't think that until like I was level 10, because I was thinking, I'm not even sure if I'm gonna like the game, because I'm not a big fan of Pokemon, because of the aforementioned reasons of random encounters that take too long and aren't challenging most of the time. There is one thing I need that I can't just factory produce. Actually, I guess let's do base tours first. So, like I said, you can build your own bases. The spawn area is like right in there. The fast travel point is even called Hill of Beginnings. I built a base literally right there because there's some, like here, I'll just fast travel over there. There are some ruins that were pretty cool. Of like a castle or something. It's gray brick. It means some. But like, yeah, like these walls, like this is like right in here is where I put the pail box, and these things I wanted to like integrate into the build because they're kind of cool and vaguely medieval, or maybe Renaissance, considering it's like a 4 brick thick wall. But it was a bit difficult to build through because you can't have blocks intersect much, and that curve there especially was real difficult because the blocks you build with are all squares and triangles. So I ended up tearing that whole thing down and transferring to a new base and all that. So it's not here anymore. But I had this thing in the base. It was my elevator. I think I built up to like 7 or 8 floors before deciding that, yeah, I'm gonna have to tear it down. But yeah, if we go in here, the spawn area, literally right there. So something to do if you do get the game, because it starts you off after a cutscene of you waking up on the beach. It starts you off like right here. Just turn around and there's like the first bit of lore there, which I haven't read yet. I haven't read any of the lore, but I've collected like 40 of the things. And a loot chest right here. Now it is basic loot chest in the basic area. Oh, He gave me schematics. But yeah, you get some. Basically, it's just gonna be the money is the only thing in there that's that great. Which I haven't found a lot of things to spend money on in this game of the gold coins you get, so I've got a lot of them. And the merchants don't really sell too many things. But yeah, so that's where I had the first base, but I just assembled that because it was way too unoptimized for my liking. Because I've played a lot of Sky Factory, the mod pack for Minecraft. So that's like one of the things I like about this game a lot is like just immediately you can get into automation, because as soon as you capture the first pal with opposable thumbs that you can find, which is likely going to be the cat thing with hands, it can build for you, it can craft for you, you don't have to do anything, you can just wander around. But this base is my main base. It was my second base. It started as just a mining facility where I just like stuck some ore mines in the corner, because you need a lot of metal in like the past 10-20 levels I've been in. So I had this set up here, but I'm not doing that anymore because this is just main base now. So I've got big storage containers. These two are just crafting ingredients. Because apparently it's not, I figured out the second base around, you can overlap some of the gardens in the area where the pillbox is supposed to be, which is nice. Over here we've just got things that are powered by water types, well, watering capable pals, because they are also required for the garden. This big ice guy is keeping the refrigerator cold. We got two here that can plant and harvest, which not everything that can plant can harvest, and not everything that can harvest can plant. But they're doing that, so we've got, you know, ridiculous over the top food production. And they just put it in here and the pals can eat directly from there. So, you know, I don't have to worry about feeding them. They handle that themselves. I got like seeds over here. Did not mean to do that. And then for some reason I have an old shield in there. And then if I go up here, these two crates are not used yet because I haven't needed them. But in here we got weird plants that I don't know what to do with, some honey and some fishing bait, because I basically refuse to go fishing in this game, even though I know there's probably some like basic pals I just don't have, because I have refused to go fishing. But fishing is like one of my least favorite things. It's boring in real life, and very few, if any, video games have made it any good. I think probably Ocarina of Time is the only game that has had fishing that I have not disliked in some way. I suppose Twilight Princess, but not the fishing hole, just like random out in the wild, like the green gill and the skullfish and bombfish. But the fishing hole is boring and not interesting. Here, this chest has all the fruit that teach skills, which are attacks. I think I haven't used any of them. I'm kind of just saving them all up for late game when I actually know what these do and need to start worrying like really hard about a super optimized battle team, because so far I've mostly just been winning boss fights with whatever my top weapon is, which for a while now has been the revolver. This one has ammo that I can't use in it, some arrows because I don't use bows anymore. These two should be empty. This one has the pal souls, which can be used to upgrade specific pals, but I haven't used many of those yet either because I haven't started building a super team yet. And then a bunch of these things that grant like XP and work ability boosters. So like I can make, so I have like 2 of these lumbering handbooks. If I take a lumber 5 creature and give them that, it'd make them have 7 skill for chopping down trees. And then up here is just where I keep all the schematics. So I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I already had one of those. I've got several duplicates. I have 3 of this one, which is weird. But these are just the most basic chest available. I just built like 10 of them, it looks like, and I've been filling them with the schematics when I find them, because I as long as the materials in your base, you can use it to craft. And it looks like we have a meteorite. So these can happen sometimes. I've also seen a few, like, what's it called, supply drops that just have not been super useful. And it's got this glider here, which is what made me think. So when like 2 minutes into the game, after the cutscene, I thought, oh man, this art style looks vaguely like Breath of the Wild. It kind of and like the ruined castle stuff in the spawn area. And I thought, oh man, how great would Breath of the Wild have been? Like, it's great already, but how much better would it be if you could play with a keyboard and mouse instead of those tiny little Nintendo Switch controllers? I've got big hands, so it was more problematic for me. And then of course there's Joy-Con drift. And then like half an hour later, I saw the glider in here, and I was like, oh cool, so it is just Breath of the Wild to some extent. But yeah, so these meteorite impacts have alien pals that appear. They're not super useful. I've already caught 5 of them, as you can see there, and that's the most you need to catch for like the maximum XP bonus for catching the same one multiple times. And then also you get a thing that lets you upgrade your base movement speed when you catch 5 of the same thing. So I'm just gonna I have this Ring of Mercy, which makes it so I can't kill things, but I'm just gonna unequip that and take these guys out. Headshots of course matter. As you can see, I'm doing like 17. I'm just taking them down like it's nothing. These ones drop meteorite fragments when they die. I haven't found much to do with meteorites, to be honest. They can be turned into paldium, which is I think is a somewhat stupid name. They could just put an I in there and called it palladium, or no, an A in there and call it palladium. And actually, is that fictional, or is that, I don't remember if that's a real element or if that's just from Tony Stark's arc reactor. But more importantly, like, they could have made it something that rolls off the tongue a bit better and still put PAL in it. Another thing you can make with a meteorite is a meteorite gun and ammo for it, which is basically a shoulder mounted cannon, not like a rocket launcher. It's more like the star cannon from Terraria, which there's quite a bit of crossover stuff from this game and Terraria. Like, if I go into the technology tab here, you can see over on this that side there should be where is it, Meowmere. No, I don't want to unlock it, it's not that good, but it's there. And then if I go look at the PAL box, it shouldn't take too long. I can actually just use the search bar. No, I can't search for names. I know what type they are though. Oh wait, not search. Sort. Yeah, we want ice types. Should have like 2, yeah, chill it. So this is, you can find dragon eggs in Terraria now that you can hatch into chillet and chillet variants. There might be others. I've only gotten chillet and chillet ignis in Terraria, and they're fairly fast non-flying mounts, so they're real nice. And then I believe the other one that I need is ground. In the underground desert in Terraria, is it not a ground type? Let's just sort by number. That way they'll all be right next to each other. I've got like 10 of things. It shouldn't be too hard to find. Here we go. Dig toys. So it's a tortoise with drills in its shell, and it's a mining like summon or pet or whatever for in Terraria. So they're crossover things. I'm pretty sure they're not I'm pretty sure the games were made by separate developers and whatnot, but there is quite a bit of crossover in them. One of my friends said they thought they saw a Terraria boss in the trailers. I didn't watch the trailers for more than like a minute and a half, and I kind of just clicked through them. So I'm not gonna go look. I don't really care. But yeah. So let's see, did we finish this base? Kind of. I got like the fancy hot spring and the regular hot springs beds for everybody, including my own bed at this base. I got the egg incubators, all that. Now let's go over to my second base, which looks a lot cooler from the outside, but is literally just a basic material production facility. So if we go out here, this is a fire type that I'm riding on, so it's telling me that I'm getting heat stroke. But this, I believe, yeah, this is deteriorating because it's outside my base by about an inch. This little line here, there's a circle that's a cylinder all the way from ground to sky for the base. And so I got like this bridge here. Now, something that took me a while to figure out, if you want to build it downwards in this game, from what I can tell, the only way to do that is with the pillars. They can be placed on the other side of platforms. And of course, I started with those down there, and that's kind of what determined the height of the rest of my base. But then I had to go lower for that one. And that's how I learned you could build downward with the pillars. But these are kind of like, not like dams, but like it's halfway through building it, I was like, oh man, this is kind of like Kakariko Village in Twilight Princess, the style of building I'm doing here, with like the kind of in the wall and mountain with all these support beams and everything everywhere. And then of course I put like these in to make it, you know, the lore that of why I put these in is to make it easier for wandering merchants. The reality is that I like just going way over the carry weight limit, and you can't jump if you're too far over your carry weight limit. But is it gonna get used by these wild pals? That is nice seeing that in there, because that actually took a hot minute, because I wanted to do stairs but I couldn't get floor in low enough to attach stairs to, because stairs can only be built upwards and not downwards. That is nice. I also like in this game the implication that the pals are at least nearly as intelligent as humans. Like as if, but like not like animal intelligence like most like the Pokemon are, because they can like work in factories and craft things, and some of them can make medicine if you tell them to. So it's like they're intelligent creatures, possibly more intelligent than some humans. But anyways, we got the Egyptian cat thing on the turret, which I'm not sure if this thing actually needs ammo or not. All I know is that I was disappointed that I can't use it when I put it down, but this is the only entrance to the base, so theoretically I haven't gotten a raid at this base yet, but theoretically it's either going to be up here and they're going to get mowed down by the turret, or it's going to be down there and they're not going to be able to reach the base entrance for like 2 minutes anyways after they spawn. And if we go in here, we've got coal mine over here. This is the ore mine, the stone mine, and the wood mine, which apparently I do not have enough people dragging stuff around, because this was just stone and wood before, and then I moved the ore over here and then added coal on top of that and made sure they had the highest quality farmers. So actually I think, yeah, I probably made a mistake, because these guys can do logging, but really I need more mining, because I only have one logging facility and all the others all those others mining things use the mining skill. So I'm going to sort this by mining, and then have to go back to box 1. Oh. I think this is a... No, I hatched this from an egg because it's level 1, and it's the only way you get things that are level 1. They're not starter things. So I'm going to go ahead and... Jeez, he has 6. So I'm going to go and replace one of these guys with that, and then these guys have logging and mining, so I don't know why I'm not using them more. I need at least one of these guys to water the plants. So let me just check, because some of them rarely have higher or lower work than normal. Oh, these guys actually have better logging as well. Yeah, see, there's one with a lower work speed. So I'm actually going to replace the grass versions with the ice versions. And we still got 2 on watering. These 2 that are really high on planting and gathering, and this one doesn't sleep, I believe. So he'll work through the night. This one is on mining. It's got mining 5, which is better than the mammoths. This one's got mining 4, so I think actually, unless he has... No, he's only got the base 70 work speed, so we'll swap him out. This guy is just... I should probably switch him to transport only, since these 2 are mining, handiwork, and transport as well. We of course got this one who has probably showed up in quite a few memes at this point, but I kind of stopped paying attention to those. I have one of these at each base just to run the medicine production to produce tasks, and then we of course got one of these which produces wool, better than the base sheep that you find in the starting area do. So I've got, yeah, this one up here doing medicine. I've got the medicine cabinets stacked at both bases, and I got this thing here producing wool. I'll go ahead and grab that to bring back to main base. Jesus, that thing is big. I think, no, I have seen one of these as a boss and just chose not to fight it. I didn't realize it was the same thing that I hatched from the egg, because it was tucked inside of its shell in the desert, somewhere up here, I think. Yeah, right here. And I think this one, I don't think the other one is gold, because this one is called a Primo. The other one is not, so there are a few that just have gold versions of them instead of like alternate elemental versions that I'm never gonna be able to catch 5 of everything. I think I'm not gonna... I don't think I can stay interested in a single game that long, and there's already so much story I have to do as well. But yeah, now that I've switched things around, right, and I need to make him stop lumbering, which you can do at this station, is real nice. You can set work preferences to tell him to and not to do things. So let's see. We need you to stop lumber, because you are needed to transport stuff, and you have transport 6, so you can get most of the transport done, I think. And that should be good. We shouldn't need to change anything else. All the others, and of course we also do fixed work assignment, so we can guarantee, you know, there'll always be someone at the logging site, someone at the coal quarry, someone at the ore mining site. I'm gonna go ahead and put Mr. 6 on that, because that's what we need the most of. I think actually I'll do 2 guaranteed on the mining site. And of course I got 1 on the machine gun. I got that pink one on the clinic, that one on the ranch. Actually don't think this one should be on stone pit. You go ahead and put both of those guys on ore mining, and then those around there. And there's still room for this one to, if there's spare time, just go and help out at one of the mining sites. And of course we've got room for expansion, and at some point I'm going to need to add 2 more types of mining for sulfur and pure quartz relatively soon. but I might be able to upgrade the base, well, the other base, but they get upgraded simultaneously as long as one base qualifies for all 3 upgrade points. Oh, that'll increase my max number of bases as well. I'm at that point where I get a 3rd base. So something I want to do, which is difficult, is get this plateau over here to be a 2nd base. Now, what's difficult about that is that the bases, there has to be like a decent gap, like 10, like 4 or 5, I think, maybe only 2 or 3 player body heights of distance. So I'd have to like build it like off this ledge or off this ledge, which is fine because I want to make another bridge over here that kind of closes the loop and makes it like a full, just like vertical town looking thing. I don't think I actually went down there to show that part off either. I only showed off the first 2 floors. I didn't go to the basements. So if you go down here, I've put some decorations in with the potted plants. We've got benches around this walkway. I kind of wanted to go for a kind of national park look. So we got more plants around. We got fences everywhere for safety. Now I did have some issues getting this wall to be even and nice looking. So there are just some ram foundations down here to extend the reach that I can build out a bit. Because I think the way game works, you don't actually need these support beams. There just needs to be foundation directly under where you're trying to build. Which, you know, can be good or bad. And then you can go like a few spaces out from the nearest foundation. Like 2, I know 2 to the side. I'm not sure if you can go 2 diagonal, if it's only 1 diagonal. And then the triangles are fairly jank. Like you can glitch them a lot more. Well, not glitch, but just like build them inside walls more than you're supposed to. Like if we go back up here, the middle area is floor, or is like solid ground, and I've built the platforms like partway into them in a lot of spots. Like there's a little gap here that I wasn't able to cover. But it's usually like if a tiny bit of the triangle is sticking out of the rock, or only a tiny bit sticking in, or in this case where it's like the middle bit is sticking in, it's fine. Like there's a small amount overlap allowed, but it's more allowed with the triangles. And it's also different between triangle roofs and triangle foundations, so you should try both if you need to. But yeah, and then the 2nd floor is mostly fence, and you got like these little nooks and crannies in the corners around here. And of course, like these big open spots in my bases are for flying into, because that's my main mode of transport, is just flight. And despite me putting all the big beds out here for the big stuff that's going to be poking through the ceiling, so I made a double tall ceiling, it's all small stuff in these big beds. Like look at this is ridiculous. It's like those videos you see where the cat is in the giant dog bed and the big dog is in the cat's bed because it's too timid to make the cat move out of its bed. And then of course some of them are sleepless, so that's that increases production on nights where I don't sleep, which is usually only outworld adventuring. And man, have I been around a bit. So something I did, because I'm playing on casual difficulty, which means there's no penalty for death other than being sent back to a fast travel point or base of my choice. So I've been kind of abusing that a little, and just like if I wander across a boss tower that's part of the main plot, so like this symbol here, this is the first one, Tower of the Rain Syndicate, and it's a level 20, and then I think there's a third one. Do they just go up by 10 levels each time? I think so. So I guess that means I can predict that the next one is gonna be, yeah, level 50. So what level is this one? because I've gone in there at level 60. So that's gonna be the next one. And I nearly died getting there. I had to stealth and fly and run away my way there not too long ago. It is gonna take forever for me to be able to do that. But yeah, I've been going to slightly too high level areas, sneaking around and getting loot from there, which has kind of helped me up a bit. I wouldn't suggest that if you're on a higher difficulty, because then you can actually like permanently lose pals and stuff. But yeah, so thing is, I wandered up here completely just looking for a spot to put the secondary base and didn't really find anything or any good spots, but I just ended up wandering across this tower and defeating it. Like, I was like, well, let's see how hard it is. Turns out it's the fourth one and I beat it, so I skipped effectively the entire main story quest line there. That's supposed to have some story about telling me like, why am I fighting this person other than to just get the MacGuffin item that I need to do the main quest. Like, why is this person villainous enough for me to fight them when they're like the leader of, was effectively the police, like the most lawful organization on the in the game? Because like the other ones, like Rain Syndicate is just full on, like that's effectively like, they're not good, they're not the most evil, but I think a lot of that just has to do because their leader is missing and the current boss doesn't have a full lead. The leader's daughter hasn't gotten full grip. So, and then we got the Free Pal Alliance, which are like, they have good intentions but they're doing bad. And the third one here is just, they've gone a bit crazy. Effectively, like I actually did these quests fully, but I beat the level 41 before the level 30 because I was wandering around too much. And the thing is, in some of these outer areas, I'm kind of disappointed at how few fast travel points there are. So like, if my inventory gets full, I just have to start walking past stuff to get to new spots. But man, something I didn't realize until I explored this continent, because from here, from the spawn area, you can't really see anything out in this direction other than some like floating islands over here that I haven't figured out a way to get to yet. And apparently I just haven't gone over here despite it being a fairly low level area, because it just hasn't looked interesting enough, I guess. It's probably just this normal like yellow or green biomes. And it's like, oh, I'm gonna go check out the volcano instead. But I was wandering around over here, which is too high level for me, but you know, stealth and flight are really good at avoiding enemies. I made my way to this tower and got my posterior kicked, and found some like over level 60 bosses. I also went out here, so there's this iceberg right here that looks like a frozen like giant aquatic dinosaur head, vaguely, in the art style of the game, the way the like T-Rexes have been. And then it came out here to this island after that, which luckily has a fast travel point. This thing didn't, and I was like, oh man, it took like 2 minutes to fly over here because I had a slower bird at the time. And I got out here and it's like, oh, so there is more than one Anubis in the game, because so far I hadn't seen any up here. There weren't any up here. There's one here. No others spawn in this area. That's a level 55 boss, and he's a really strong enemy. So even though I'm, you know, at the level I should be able to fight him, I'm taking down other level 50 bosses sometimes. I actually, let me 35, 40, 30. Have I fought any level 50 bosses yet? I must have. I fought 2 level 26s at the same time. Does that count? Okay, so maybe not quite yet, but like, I've taken down level 40 fairly quickly and thoroughly without much issue. Level 45 over here, that wasn't too difficult, just took a while because he had so much health and I kept missing my shots. but Jesus, he attacks just so fast and quickly, and you can't like get away from him or hide because his range attacks are actually half decent, like most things. So I haven't been able to beat him yet. But if he's that strong at that, like compared to his level, then I need it for the end game team. But there are more of them. Like I saw like 2 different ones spawn on this island along with a bunch of the Egyptian cat ones as well, rather than the Egyptian dog. And then the cat ones were also up here where I grabbed the ones that I have. These ones were too high level. They were like level 60. This boss, I think, was killed by, because the Anubises are hostile, while the cats are not. So I think he got killed by that, but then the Anubis got killed by like the other 15 of these things that were surrounding it. Sadly, I don't think they actually drop any items specific to them. They're really cool, so I couldn't like just go in and loot it. Did, however, find a chest there. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna get some really high level loot. It was nothing good. Now, after that, I went down here and there was quite a bit of good loot here. I've got like spheres that are significantly too high level for me that I'm just holding on to in case there's something weird that I actually have a chance of catching that's really powerful. Man, where am I gonna put my 3rd base? I remember seeing a spot for it that was fairly good. Was it just like right there? I think it might have just been up there. Or wait, no, I'm gonna try to do the thing here. Not today though. And we've already been recording for over half an hour, and it's mostly just me trying to rush through the last 4 days I've spent in this game. There was one quest that was really interesting that I kind of rushed through. So around the map, there's these really big whale skeletons, and this one here, this one here, where is it? This one, which this volcano has, like, they're scattered all over the place, these giant whale skeletons. And the entire time I was like, I know the most intact one here looks like a whale, but like, what if it's not a whale? Because this island here has some lore on it, with a guy trying to research it, and there's another one up here that the thing. And then some of them have these like spike rings around them, and it's like, is it the spine? Is it a collar? It's hard to tell. And it's trying to figure, like, is it not a whale? It could be something else. It could be like a world serpent. Like, which mythology is that? Norse has a world serpent, but I don't think it's the same one. You know, the whole wrapped around the earth, tail in the mouth thing for, you know, recycling life or whatever, circle life, yeah, that type of thing. No, it's not. It's whales. There apparently used to be a bunch of them. That's why the skeletons are everywhere. But now I guess there's only one that's here. So yeah. And it's level 70, so I went in there and I was like, oh man, I know I can't win this, but there's no penalty for dying because I'm on the easiest difficulty. So I went in there, didn't even have to use the death button in the pause menu, which it's not actually a pause menu. You can't pause the game without leaving it, from what I can tell. But like, it wasn't immediately hostile, but there was a time limit. I think there's a time limit for all the bosses, but it's the only one that I've actually had to worry about, because the arena is so big that it was not immediately hostile. So I was kind of trying to like fly up and on top of it and try to ride it, and I just kept falling off, so I don't think you actually can. But man, is that thing, it had like 500,000 health. Let's see, I think this is one of the few spots in the game where you can't actually see it. So let's go over to the other base and I'll show you the end of the game. From a distance, not the actual end of the game. I can't make it there yet, supposedly. Yeah, that tree is what we're supposed to get to. You know, you start the game knowing with like a little cutscene that's on the tablet that's like a iPad type tablet that's like if you want, the world tree has the answers. It's that thing. Now I already know what's in that tree, but I'm not going to spoil it because I went that's the thing over here. The main quest to the tower for this area has you discover lore about what it what's in the tree, and it's very blunt. It's just like, oh, here's what's in the tree and here's why, and it's like 2 sentences long, a little bit of lore. And it's so blunt and just out in the open. It's like, man, the person who wrote this like in world, not the developer who wrote it, but like the character in the game that was intended to have written it, was really seemed to be in a rush when they were writing it because they just went straight to the point and got their point across. But yeah, the thing is, I haven't tried this, but I don't understand why you can't just like walk over there, because when you're on one of these birds, and this is the reason I don't have any saddles for water pets, like, I don't know, I assume if you run out of stamina while swimming, you drown and you die. But like, let's just say I run out of stamina while over water on a bird, fall down and treat the water as ground and can just recover stamina on the surface, and then go immediately back to sprinting. Like, there's just no penalty. Like, even if we go on deep water, there's nothing. So yeah, I kind of wonder, like, what's stopping me from just, you know, hitting X for auto run and stepping away from my computer for a bit. I assume that I'd probably get killed by something, maybe, I don't know, or maybe it is just part of the skybox, kind of like it's 2D texture. It's not a place you can actually go without the whale, because the guy says you need it to get to the world tree, and it's like, oh, is it gonna be like going to the water dungeon in Majora's Mask where you have to wake the turtle up and with the, what is it, the new way of bossa nova to get it to, and it can get through the storm surrounding the water dungeon. I assume that's what it is, because the thing is, I've been to the back of those mountains, and actually that's probably a good thing to look at, because some of these areas just are ridiculously far away from everything else. Like the back of this, like there's a not really a mountain range here, but it's just high elevation and then a drop to low elevation. So over here is like super far away and you can't even see it from like over here, and much less from over here. You can barely see it. But like, you can see the world tree from almost anywhere on the map. Like, it's just, it's taller than all the mountains by probably double. And maybe only like time and a half compared to the volcano. I don't think that mountain's nearly as tall. But if we go ahead and fast travel to the top of the mountain, then we can see that the tree is still, like, it's closer for sure. It certainly looks closer. Actually, hold on. It's really close. Oh, hold on. I gotta get a fire pet out, or I'll freeze to death. That actually does look quite close. Oh, and this person is part of a quest. They need a certain pal that can help them down. But yeah, like the back end of this mountain is just kind of flat. So basically I went yeah, over here, this one is just flat off into nothingness. There's nothing on this side of the mountain until you cross the ocean. But yeah, like I had to get back here, right, to get to the whale thing. I first tried coming up this way and then froze to death, because at night that around here it's so cold that even with a fire pet you take damage. And then at some point I ran out of stamina while climbing like upwards and fell to my death. So the second time I went around this way and then walked up the spine of the mountain all the way up here, which was the long way. I should have gone around this way along the coast. It would have been much faster. Gonna go and grab this ice egg since I don't get a lot of ice eggs. But I kind of do just want to see like what happens if I just try to fly to the world tree. Like how much this game can you skip? Yeah, how much will this be like Breath of the Wild speedruns where people just pick up a few, fill their inventory with cheap weapons and some shields and parry attack their way to beating Ganon in the first 15 minutes of the game with no glitches? Or is this gonna be a game that people don't speedrun because it takes like 30 hours minimum to complete the main quest, plus all the other nonsense? And I don't think I actually have you, so let's go ahead and upgrade. 9. Oh, you're level 52. Yeah, we're not gonna capture you. I'm glad you're not a hostile creature. But yeah, like just look how big that whale skeleton is, and like what's it doing here? Like, it's more importantly, what's it doing up there? There's another one. Like, was the world flooded for a while? And there's like rib cages all over the place, and like, you know, every one or two, like there's one, that one's a separate one, those two probably come from the same one, and then we got this extra big one up here. But like there's just 4 like right here. Like clearly they weren't always a rare and unique thing, but now only the, because some of them, some of the pals have boss versions, they're actually different, and some of them it's just a larger, stronger one that counts towards the same group of 5 for catching 5 of everything, and they have the same like Palpedia number. I'm guessing that these ones, I'm not sure if it's a case where oh, so this chest here is a mimic. The problem is that they run really fast, and this one's high level, so I'm not gonna be able to get very low health very quickly. And I think I lost it. They're faster than my eyes care to see. Something else I would like to give some praise to this game for. I have been running it on maxed settings, and my computer's a bit old, and I have had no like stuttering or anything. It's really high quality. Now of course you guys won't get to see that because I only record in 1080p because I'm recording to a hard drive and my graphics card has its limits. So you guys, I think your color quality is probably worse too because I'm recording in 1080p. So it's smashing colors together every few pixels. These things are lower level than me though. I don't have them yet, so I think I'm gonna, let's see, what, maybe that one, hypersphere. They're fairly cheap. I missed. Hold on, let me get on like a lower ledge here, and then there we go. Yeah, you're only gonna take like 4 or 5 shots. Starting at 30 with a critical bonus. I'm gonna go and upgrade to Ultra Sphere here, and then we start with 54 with no critical bonus because we didn't hit him in the head. Yeah, that Ring of Mercy is really nice because without it, you very quickly start just killing things that you're trying to capture. Man, and the first glider barely moves you forward at all. But you get to the second or third glider, I think I'm only on the second one, and oh man, it's nice. Especially since I got some stamina and speed upgrades. Yeah. What are you? You are one of a cold wyvern. That's what you are. That's literally what your name is. It's a mix of quiver and wyvern. Okay, why are we just still really high altitude, or is there just no ocean back here? Okay, there's the ocean. I'm gonna go ahead and pause the recording. I'm gonna go ahead and pause the recording for a bit while I let auto run take me over there while I stand up and stretch a bit. Accidentally. Anyways, as we're getting closer, that symbol's appearing. That's symbols on all the towers, which have the main plot with the MacGuffin items. And it's not on a solid object. It's just in the air pulsing. But it's stationary in there. So I think it is it's not just something like in the HUD. It's actually an object over there. Well, not object, but it's a spell or something, some kind of magic nonsense. Oh, there's like purple lines showing up. Oh, there we go. Yeah, something I do like is that the game is kind of set like in the far future after a collapse of a civilization significantly more advanced than ours that theoretically also had pals. But some of the stuff that's magic looks almost like technology. Like it's got these circuit board traces. I'll have to show you later, but there are pillars that look almost like natural kind of ore growths, like the ore in Skyward Sword, how it's like a bunch of cubes of iron that grow in a crystallized fashion that stick out of the ground. But if you get close to them, the pattern on them looks like old-fashioned circuitry there that's like really big, just like stamped into it. But at the same time, it's just big blocks of metal, so it's kind of like, I want to know what the hell's going on, but reading the lore bits, it's mostly people's journals, is not going to tell me anything. I need to get to the end of the game. Something else interesting here, this wall is not like surrounding the entire island the tree's on. Oh, but this one is. It's red, so I'm guessing it might kill me, so I'm not going to touch it until I'm done with my monologue. But that wall there, the purple one with the big symbol on it, is not rotating and it's visual with my movement or anything. So it's just a full-on wall. Actually, it might be rotating with my movement, but not with my camera. That would be somewhat interesting because it's not centered. It almost appears to be pointing towards spawn to some extent. Oh, foot of the world tree. I've discovered a new location. Oh, and the wall here is not a sphere around the place either. Is it some sort of laser maze? Is there a reason it's letting me get closer in this direction but not that one? Let's trace this wall if we can. Where are these, like mangrove trees almost? Not quite. Something I am surprised is that the trees below the world tree do not look like smaller bits of the world tree, because when I first saw it, it reminded me of from Avatar: The Last Airbender in the swamp with the one big tree. Okay, so this red wall, it's got to be something almost entirely separate from that wall, because it's not driving me away from it, it's driving me away from that side of it, and that symbol is on my side of it. My camera is doing something weird here. I also don't see any movement down there, so I'm not sure there are even pals on this island. Yeah, I wonder what kind of wood these trees drop. Oh. That was weird. It just disappeared. Are the trees fake? If I hold something other than an axe, do they stick around? They do not. These trees are very weird. Okay, let's find that red line again. There it is. So yeah, it intersects with this wall. Oh, okay. So it does appear to actually bend in front of it as well. Well, why does it go so far out on that side, but let me go around over here? And why aren't there any animals over here? And why do the trees disappear? It's so weird. Fast travel. Yes. Ah, that is... We are so far away. Oh. Could that line be the absolute edge border of the world, maybe? And that's why... So it goes all the way around the outside of the map at a long distance. And this is just my first time coming across it. It would be weird that they have this area and have that red barrier go through this island at such a weird angle. Okay, let's see here. So this appears to be the boss entrance arena, maybe. Enter the world tree. No, I doubt I'd be allowed to without the however many MacGuffins it was. Okay, so this tree looks like it's too big to disappear, maybe. Oh, I'm getting red barriered, so I won't get to chop it down. So it lets you just in far enough along this one trail. Get to there. I don't actually need to run along the red line. I got my map vision for that. Let's see. Yeah, so these are some of those pillars, but they seem almost more intact than other ones, but also less circuit boardy. So I wonder if that implies that they're older or what. I wonder if there is some overarching pattern to these around the map, because there's a line of them here. That's pretty much it. Maybe it doesn't really point over here though, so I don't know. It is weird that there's just like nothing here but fake trees and the end game. Like you'd think there'd be something, some kind of pal here, just living wild. Like even if it's just on the coast. Or something you have to fish out. What about these crystals? Can I mine these? I didn't think so. Okay, so this one's solid. Too big to cut down though. Something else I'm kind of surprised at. is that there are no little statues on this island for me to collect to get upgrade points with. I suppose I should see what happens when you touch the red barrier, shouldn't I? It's probably just a wall, if I'm honest. But I should see if it does damage. Okay, place your bets. It's just a barrier. Now, this game has been in early access for a long time, and I only started playing it recently, once the 1.0 came out, and a friend was playing it, and the guy who plays Vac in the D&D game was telling me about it, and telling me that it's not really that close to Pokemon in terms of gameplay. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll try it. Yeah, I was half expecting to have to get my refund from Steam from not actually liking it that much, but no, it's good. Yeah, it's real good. Let's see, get to upgrade my movement speed because I collected 5 of a bunch of different types, which I completely forgot before I got sidetracked with the video making. I needed more Paldium, and the best place to get that is in dungeons, which I think there's one around here somewhere. Big blue glow. No, I'll have to do that later time. It's getting late. I need to go to bed, and I don't really feel like going mining right now. But yeah, I will see you guys next time, and hopefully get this video out in less than a month, which is the normal amount of time it takes for me to get around to editing. See you guys next time.